today, officially, pound for pound, #1 in the world. You are considered, this is something that I think people get lost in, is that you're considered the best mixed martial artist in the world right now. That's a huge accomplishment. Think about how many people live on this planet Earth. Nobody is better than you. What does that mean to you?
Oh man, it's pretty incredible, really, isn't it? It's crazy. It's because when you look at it that way, like exactly what you said, we're talking about the best in the world. There's a lot of people that do this sport. There's a lot of people that do MMA, and then like what's like if you had to pick the martial arts, if you look at martial arts or a sport and said like who is the best fighter out of all these sports, which disciplines, you're gonna say mixed martial artists, right? So can I really claim everything right now? You know what I mean? Like it's it's crazy because MMA fighters are probably considered some of the best. Because again, obviously boxers are great at what they do, but then again, MMA, jiu-jitsu, and all that's our world. You know what I mean? So like, we do all the disciplines, so all that type of stuff. So to be known as the best fighter, MMA fighter in the world, and that's pretty cool, man. So like, it's something that it is a goal of mine. It was always a goal of mine, and but I don't know, man. It's cool. It's something. I'll probably have a couple of drinks and celebrate it because yeah, I'm still proud of it. But I mean, at the same time, it's not gonna change me, man. I'm still the same guy. I'm gonna forget about it next week. But I may as well have a few drinks and celebrate it, and make myself feel special for a day or two. But I mean, it is cool. It's
Yeah.
definitely cool.
Yeah, it's cool that I heard from people back in 2000 and I believe 13, 14-ish, 15-ish, from people around, Asia and Thailand and Australia. It's like Volkanovski, he's the next champ. Whenever someone says that, you could only take it for what it's worth, right? Because you don't really know who's going to be the next champ in the UFC and all of that. But you actually became that person. You know what I mean? You actually became the pound for
Yeah,
pound #1, and people believed in you from back then. What does that mean to you? You know what I mean? Having that support system.
yeah, man. It's great. It's incredible, mate. Like even yourself, you've been supporting me for a long time. That's why I'm always gonna have time for you. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. So and then that goes way back. It goes way back to people that were backing me, like in the local scene and all that type of stuff. But I remember who was I talking about? Luke Vella. He's he used to look after me very early in my career, and he used to work with Joe and all that, like good friends with him. And me and Israel Adesanya, we were training together in Thailand. This was at Tiger Muay Thai, and we're talking ages ago, well before we were in the UFC, and we're sparring together. And then he commented underneath of that, goes, um, you watch these two in the next couple of years, or like, just I can't remember what he said, but talking about how these guys, you're all going to know these guys' names in the next couple of years. Then we made the UFC. I remember everyone was posting, goes, look at this, you were right. And then we both were champions, right? Like, you know what I mean? Everyone goes, man, how crazy is that? Getting photos. Now we're right at the top. You know what I mean? Right at the top, the best fighters in the world. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It really is. It really is. And for people that have been backing us the whole time, the people that have been supporting us, right? You sometimes think, how do you give back? Going out and kicking ass and then proving them right. They appreciate that. They appreciate seeing I backed him from the start. I told you. You know what I mean? So it's a good way of us giving back. You know what I mean? I need to do it for my career. I need to do it for all that, but not just that. I can do it for everyone that's backed me from the start and be like, oh no, you said it. You were right. Yeah, let's all soak it up.
The big thing is the hand injury, the surgery, the
Yep.
recovery. What's the update on that?
Got that off. Like I've got to wear it, so it's. But I mean, when I'm not doing nothing, I can have it off and just stretch my fingers a little bit. Still stiff, but I mean, yeah, I'm going to be stuck in this for probably another 2-3 weeks, and then hopefully I can do a fair bit more. So I'm already training, man. I'm already doing stuff. I'm just avoiding using this hand. Um, but I mean, I'm still hitting pads, just not using my left hand. I mean, hitting pads, shitloads of kicks. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of strength and conditioning, still doing stair sprints, still doing lactic sessions, man. So I'm professional, man. I didn't get to where I am by half-ass and shit. You know what I mean? I could use this as an excuse, but I mean, like, hey, This, why? Like, look at all that hard work I do to make improvements. Everyone's saying every time I step in that octagon, I look better. He looks faster. He looks more explosive. But I want to lose all of that because of a little thumb injury. Nah, I ain't having that. No way. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna stay sharp. So as soon as I can, train full time. I train like a full contact. I haven't missed a beat. You know what I mean? My timing's still on. Everything's still on. You know what I mean? Like, it won't take me long before I'm using this. And I've got a good team around me to work around this, as in even in the gym with Joe Lopez. But obviously, my strength and conditioning and physios. You know what I mean? Like, we are making sure we're not losing any muscle on the left arm. We are still using the right muscles. You know what I mean? We're the science, baby. We're breaking it all down because we don't want to miss a beat.
Yeah, you got the best in the business, you know what I mean, working for you. So, you just got to trust them, right?
That's it. Exactly right.
Yeah, I saw a video of you training, and I was speaking with your wrestling coach, Frank Hickman, and he said that even when you were in Dallas for like promotional stuff, you were training out there with the cast on. And I was like, this guy's a machine. Like, he's a bad man. Like, he should be relaxing a little bit, right? But you still get that work in.
Oh, man, like, remember, I still love the sport, right? I still love the sport. And again, I think I'm always going to, you're going to have them games in your head, like, oh, you haven't done a session today, or you know what I mean? So, like, I'm glad I'm like that. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, no, man, enjoy yourself. I am enjoying myself. I enjoy myself doing that anyway. But I mean, you know, what makes people happy? Yeah, not training, eating shit, and being pissed all the time. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that'll be happy. But I mean, like, that's just little short happinesses. What's the word? There's a word that we use. Gratification. Something gratification.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I might be pretty happy at the time, but I mean, I'm going to regret it the next day. I'm going to regret it. You know what I mean? Where, what really makes me happy is, ticking little goals each day. You know what I mean? Being productive in my day. So, you want to know what a perfect day for me is? My best day, even in camp, out of camp, sparring days. I go out there. I love sparring. You get a really, really good workout. Very, very effective. Very, very productive. You know what I mean? This is, it's a very, very important session. And then I get the rest of the day off. And it's a weekend. Take the family out. Do all that type of stuff. So my best days, my favorite days, still have a session in there. If we want to go on holidays, let me get a little morning workout, and bang, we've got the rest of the day to do whatever we want. Even if we want to have drinks that day, I know I earned them drinks by having that session, and that makes me happy. So that's just the guy I am. And but yeah, so like I said, like I went over there. Don't get me wrong, I drank while I was over there. But I got a session in. As soon as I got there, I was like, sitting on the plane, eating the plane food and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get a little sweat out. So I feel good when I sweat. So I went out there and I moved around and hit some pads and I hit some. I hit some pad. Is probably the right word. Hit some pad, not pads. But yeah, we'll just do what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to miss a beat.
Tied into all of this, right? The hand, you staying in shape, working on your skills, is the title fight, the lightweight title fight, right? A couple weeks back, you said that you would step in as the backup at UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi at the end of October. In that interview, you said you've got a feeling that someone will get injured. Why do you have that inclination? Because a lot of times people have feelings, and I always wonder, how do they get those feelings?
Man, look. I guess I don't have a feeling someone's gonna get injured. I just got a feeling it's a good idea. Good idea for me to be there just in case. Not only because someone might get injured. Look, again, both these guys cut a lot of weight. Both these guys, I guarantee you, train very, very hard. Let's be real. Charles Oliveira just had a problem last time he stepped on the scale. I know that's a bit of controversy around it, but still, you know what I mean? Yeah, so there's definitely a chance of something going wrong. And, mate, I don't care if I'm pound for pound number one. I'm happy to be a backup and come to the rescue, mate. You know what I mean? Ooh, here I come. It's all good. You know what I mean? That's just the type of guy I am. I'm pound for pound. I could be the, a type of guy like most people would in my position. Demanding stuff as, I ain't no backup fighter. I should get that next shot. I'm just not like that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're fighting. I want that lightweight title. And, I'm the type of guy that, I'll do what I have to do to make sure I'm next in line. Do I need to do that? Can I talk to you and hey, make sure I'm next, in Corpus? Yeah, probably. But do you know how I can set that in concrete? maybe by going over there being a backup. You know what I mean? Doing that, I've always been a bit of a company man, but I mean it's not just for that. It's just for the type of guy I am. It's like I don't want to be an option with someone else. I was like, nah, fuck you. I'm the only option. I'm gonna go do this. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So that's how I look at it. That's just the type of guy I am. So and I did that back when Frankie Edgar fought Max Holloway again. I just didn't want no one else to take that shot. Frankie Edgar sort of took that shot from me in a sense. I was in hospital when I got the news about that, so I'm like, I ain't letting that shit happen to me again. So that's just the type of guy I am.
Was that in the trip to Brazil, right?
Yeah.
And then you were in the
Straight after
hospital.
that, I beat Aldo. Um, obviously, you have to sometimes work a game plan. I don't know what I know now. Like I was stuck to a good game plan. It was a good performance anyway. But whether it was the most exciting fight anyone's ever seen, you know what I mean. Most people that can appreciate the sport, appreciate technique, can really appreciate that. But people that don't really care about that and just want to see blood and all that type of stuff, maybe it isn't that it's not a fight for that crowd. But whether that was punishment, be like, oh, you can wait a bit now. I'm going to give it to Frankie Edgar. I don't know. But I mean, I was obviously in hospital. Or they got wind that I was in hospital and got knocked about a bit from the bad infection I got. So, so I got news of that and I'm like, So I went over there and be like, I know I'm next, but let's make sure I'm next. Let's make sure that no one else can somehow squeeze in. And then again, that's just who I am, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you're the pound for pound. Like you could probably go step in at welterweight if you really wanted to, right? Like you're the pound for pound. Like why wouldn't the UFC promote that if you could step in at any weight?
Yeah, well, exactly right. It is, man. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's exciting. I think it's something I will do just purely because, again, I don't want anyone to take that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's imagine having the pound for pound ready to back up in case something happened. That's what people are going to talk about. People are going to lap that up. People are going to love that. It'll be good for me. It'll be good for the UFC. It'll be good for that event. It's good for everybody. So we'll just see what happens. Again, I've got a little bit of things to worry about, but I mean I'm in good nick and it's looking good. Like everything's good. I had X-rays and I sometimes might push things a little bit too far, but I mean I haven't done any serious damage, so it's healing very good. I'm able to keep a bit of strength because I'm playing. I might be pushing the borderline, right? Like it's like, oh, wait a second, you might hurt it. It'll be good if you don't, but because you're staying sharp, staying strong, and you're using the muscles all right. But I mean, don't push that bone too much. So I'm flirting with it, but I'm still obviously being careful because the last thing I want to do is break the thing. Um, but yeah, I'm in a good position where soon I'll be able to train, and I won't miss too much. I'll be pretty strong, and even the left hand grips and all that. I'm still modifying the grip so I can still do a lot of the wrestling and rap. As soon as my hips are still strong. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff. So I won't miss too much. So if I get 5-6 weeks of like 100% training, do you know how fit I can get in 5-6 weeks? Do you know how fit I can get in 2 weeks? You know what I mean? Like I can, yeah. I'm definitely. I'll be fight fit in a few weeks. So it's definitely doable.
Yeah, it's great. And have you and your team been speaking with the UFC about that?
Uh, a little bit. We had a little conversation with them. What in person? That was we did. Yeah. So that was when we first brought it up. In Dallas. We touched on that. So there's a couple of things that we're talking about. But I mean, I'll get a couple of clear answers very, very soon with my specialists and all that, and then that gives us a better idea.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Irons in the fire. A former opponent, Jose Aldo, he recently lost a decision to Merab. Merab revealed that when they were in the center of the cage, kind of like on their knees, that Aldo told him that he's done, like he's retiring. Thoughts on his alleged retirement?
Oh man, like Aldo's, again, like it's fights. How many times have people like try to say that he was done? It's just stylistically, right? Aldo's the type of guy that he does things very well. He's very like he said that he ain't gonna take me down. He was right with that. So he did everything in his power to stop that takedown. But I mean, while he was keeping himself busy by just not letting that happen, he wasn't letting himself off fence. And I know this because I did similar things, maybe not with that. I did similar things in the striking department and wrestling, clinch work, and all that, purely because I knew what he would do and how he would go about it. And then because Merab's just relentless and was just on him, constantly doing that, again, Aldo's very defensively sound. Very defensively sound. So I even said, a lot of people are going like, when I seen that he was an underdog, I was quite surprised. I'm like, he's not going to get taken down. But when I seen that how it played out, I was like, man, that does make sense. I should have maybe picked up on that. Because again, I knew he wouldn't get taken down, but holding on the fence, because again, he ain't going to worry about turning him off and being so explosive. Maybe here and there it won't be too much. It'll be purely like hip strong, getting unhooked, not letting you get lower and get to my hips and taking me down and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense in that sense. But Aldo can go and fight a different guy and look like the Aldo that was kicking ass in the featherweight for years. I guarantee you could see that his next fight. So it's totally up to him, man. He's had an incredible career. He's still the GOAT of the featherweight division. So you know what I mean. Whatever he chooses to do, good on him. He's obviously left a legacy behind, and yeah, good on him.
Yeah, I don't think he's come out and said that he's going to retire himself. Merab said that in an interview, so we don't know if that's really going to happen. This is all allegedly. Aldo, Max, you guys are the three best, the greatest of all time in the featherweight division. Mount Rushmore has 4 faces. Who's the 4th face in the featherweight division?
Well, you're gonna have to say Conor McGregor, right?
Oh,
I mean, the 4 champions, right? Like, how else could you say it? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's just real talk. I could sit there and stir the pot and not mention him, and probably piss him off. But how can you not? He was the one that um, dethroned Aldo. You know what I mean? So he dethroned Aldo back then. Well, he has beat Max. Obviously, that was very early in Max's career. That's why that's probably not talked about very much. But yeah, it would have been good for him to stay in the division. But I mean, you can see why he didn't. Obviously, he's a big dude. He's a very, very big dude. So he cut a lot of weight. So you can see why he's never going to see featherweight again. I think he's talking about never seeing lightweight again. That's how big the guy is, you know what I mean? And he's looking really thick right now. Really thick.
how much do you think he weighs? I swear to God, he's got to be over 200 pounds.
Mate, yeah, easy. If I used to be 97 kg, which is 214 pounds, I'm telling you, he's close to that. Obviously, yeah, he's taller than me, but I was pretty fat. But I mean, he's bulked up a lot,
Yeah.
an awful lot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, he's eating good out there. He's lifting good out there. That's what we know so far.
yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of bulking up, you know what I mean?
I won't let you twist some words out of me and that. You know what I mean? So,
Nah, you know me. I'm not like that. You know how
I'm
it
joking,
is.
I'm
You know what I mean? People will twist it anyways. That's how it is, you know? People
yeah,
will twist
exactly.
it
I didn't
anyways.
say nothing. I just said, man, he's looking big.
Now, speaking of being big, Paddy Pimblett, he's a guy that's like in the news, and he's getting a lot of flack for ballooning up to like 200 pounds or whatever he's weighing. He does look like he's pretty big, and he fights at 155. How bad is that for your body? You know the science.
I know the science, and I don't just know that. I used to do that. Oh, you like back in the days when you used to talk to me when I would go, people see me win the PXC world title featherweight. I'll go back to Thailand, not even 2 weeks later, and like people are looking at me like, how do you look like that? Like, you know what I mean? You were just here, like, what? It doesn't make sense. And like, yeah. So I know this because I used to weigh in at 65.8, 145, and within the week, so next weekend, 86 kilograms. That's over 185 kilograms. And you used to see that. What's that? Like, that's 185, right? 86 kg.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
well over. Sorry,
yeah, it's well over.
it's it's almost 190. So I used to go 158. Well, yeah, 145 to 190 in 1 week. So yeah, and it's not healthy. It's terrible. It's terrible for you. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, mate, his head, it blows me out how his head just balloons like that. It's quite funny. It's funny, but I mean, yeah, look, honestly, it ain't, a lot of people, I remember hearing him talking about people fat shaming him and all that type of stuff. Yeah, some people would be, but I think there's a lot of people that probably care for his health as well because it ain't healthy. It ain't healthy. And I know because I've been in the same position.
What were some of the ill effects of that? Because of course, you've changed since then.
Oh, man, like it's like, man, just knowing the weight is crazy. But I mean, like, yeah, you definitely feel crap, mate. I remember because I would even have a couple of days because I'd eat so silly straight afterwards, and because I've always been heavy set and I'd fluctuate so much, I'd fluctuate a lot quicker too, right? So that I would hold a lot more water because I was always just doing this. So like I would, mate, like again, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. We all know that. But I mean, like things that were very physically you could feel crap, but not just that. Like I'll jump on a plane, like say 2 days after a fight, drive on a plane, and then all the water, because the water goes to your ankles and that. Like I mean, like I couldn't even put my shoes on. Like you know what I mean? Like my legs would like. Yeah, like suppose it's very dangerous. That's actually dangerous too. Like so, I need to wear the big socks, and that's not good enough because I stretch them fuckers right out. So I used to be like pretty crazy with it, but yeah, it's not healthy, man. Not only you feel shit, obviously you look shit, and it's a little bit embarrassing here and there too. You know what I mean? Here I am trying to say and now this ain't a shot at Paddy Pimblett. This is me talking about my experience. I would do that, and then have to like even now, like sometimes for me fight week compared to out of camp now, like I won't really get the shirt off as much because I sit there and be like, wait a second, I'm a professional, right? And even now, like obviously I could take it off and like people wouldn't think it's bad at all. But I mean, for me, like I'm usually like, I'll keep it on. I'll take it off when it's fight week. But again, like I don't want people to see me balloon like that. It's like here you are, a professional athlete, who's meant to be looking after your body and like a good role model and all that type of stuff, and you're just going to let yourself do that to yourself. So it's quite embarrassing for me as well because of what I do. Again, here I am talking about being a professional, nutrition. I'm trying to push this through, even supplements and through sponsors and all because I believe in that stuff. But I mean, at the same time, I'll be careless. I used to be a little careless where I'd let myself just go like that way, and I'd be like a little embarrassed for myself letting that happen.
Now I want to turn my attention to Australia, right? So last weekend, Leon Edwards just did the unspeakable and came back and got a head kick knockout. Incredible, right? Now Dana White's saying that they're scrabbling to rearrange the 2023 schedule and they're focusing on London and going back to the UK. What does that do? Have you heard anything about that affecting the Australian card that people are saying is going to happen in early 2023?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Again, like nothing's locked in yet anyway. But yeah, I'm not sure. But I mean, I didn't know that. Yeah, whether they're going to move some stuff around, we'll see. But again, I want to be active. So hopefully that shit don't affect me.
Yeah, for sure. And you came up on the Australian scene. Australian MMA is crazy right now, right? There's so many talented guys. Now you're starting to see them go into the Contender Series and perform. Eternal MMA, they've been doing shows for 10 years now. Man, time flies because I thought they were only around for a couple of years. What has the impact been of Eternal? I mean, we've had many champions go on to the UFC.
Yeah, man. Like Eternals are massive now. Like they're consistent. They're doing everything right. You know what I mean? They're obviously being on Fight Pass and trying to go to the bigger audience. They trying to push the fighters and all that, giving a good platform for professional athletes, was a problem at the start. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of shows, but they're just here and there, and and just whatever. Where this one's like it's consistency. A lot of fighters want to be on that card because of the consistency. You know what I mean? It's going to be a credible, um, championship belt because these there's I don't know. There's a real ranking systems. I don't know. I think it's just very professionally done. I'm not saying a lot of the other shows aren't professionally done. A lot of them are, but they just got that little bit more. I think it's being on Fight Pass, um, having so many events so regularly. You know what I mean, and signing people and doing all that type of stuff, and being a bit of a feeder for the UFC. I don't know. Think I think it's definitely good for the local scene. And man, there's some good fighters. I just watched the last card. I couldn't tell you the name, but I mean, I remember watching, and one of the kids, I was just like, damn, some of that natural ability, natural instincts, and stuff like that. Like, again, he's obviously got skill, but I mean, these are things that you don't just teach. Like, I guarantee you, his coaches haven't taught him this sort of, but it's just the natural ability. In the heat of the moment, and just knowing where that body awareness, just knowing where his body needed to be, and all that. It was impressive, very, very impressive. And I had to shoot him a message. I literally don't even know the kid, and I just wanted to let him know, my mate, that was impressive. Like, you know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing. Stay disciplined. I'm usually young too. Stay disciplined. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let you a big future. That's why. Stay disciplined. You got a big future. Don't let don't get turned in the wrong direction.
Imagine how
Because,
hyped he
mate, like, I'm
was.
seeing a lot of them.
Imagine
I've
how.
said,
Yeah.
what's that? Sorry. Yeah.
Imagine how hyped he was getting a message from you. Just randomly out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, it was a random. Yeah, random. Completely random. But I mean, it was. I just felt the need to say that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, man, that really, really wowed me. Because it was, again, that natural ability, and then skill on top of that, and then the fitness and all of it. Yeah, a lot of boxes, and ticks a lot of boxes, and just again, I think it's good because I am the type of person that I want to be inspirational to some kids as well. I want to motivate kids and all that just by doing what I'm doing. But if something like that, maybe if he's having a bit of a hard time, and he's like, oh man, like, I'm not making any money here. I want to be like, man, like, you might not be making money now. I understand. You got some bills to pay, but trust me, they'll be paid. They'll be paid soon. Stay disciplined. Keep doing what you're doing. They'll be paid soon. You know what I mean? Like, you got the world champ telling you, like, yeah, I get, for people to say to someone, obviously you want to chase your dreams and all that type of stuff. Sometimes it's a bit iffy to say that as well, because I'm like, yeah, everyone's got dreams. I was like, but I mean, if you're going to chase your dreams, you got to properly chase them. If you don't, you could be led in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the ability or anything, if you don't have the mindset or the headspace, I could be telling someone to do it, but like in his case, I'm more than happy going, nah, don't get a job. Keep doing what you're doing. Trust me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm more than happy to say that, and not have a guilt, and be like, oh, I hope it works out for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Of
You
course,
know
that's a
what I mean? Like,
concern. You know what I mean? Of course, that's a concern for
yeah,
anybody,
that's just the type of guy I am. Because
Yeah.
again, like, everyone would just say it, but I literally be like, because some people will ask me, oh, I'm doing this, or, what should I do? I want to take it serious. You know what I mean? It's a hard question because I'm like, I want to be like, yeah, stick to your dreams. What the same shit that everyone wants to regurgitate. But I'm like, I want to send that message, that same message, but at the same time say, yeah, stick to, chase your dreams. But when we say chase your dreams, chase it, as in, it ain't gonna be easy. You got to work for that shit. You know what I mean? You could be destined for greatness, but that don't mean it's a fucking walk in the park there. You know what I mean? Everyone can be great, right? Everyone can be great, but I mean, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like, you have to work to that. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like, you know what I mean? If people are going, you were always going to be UFC champion, what? So if I half-assed it, I would have been? Fuck no. I had to work. I had to sacrifice a lot. There's a lot of shit that, it ain't easy. So, yeah, that's a message that I'll try and tell them. Chase your dream, but hey, remember, this ain't fucking easy. Make sure you want it. And if you want it, fucking, when I say chase it, chase the damn thing. Do it properly.
If the pound for pound number one watches you fight and see something, you got to go with with what he says. Now, one last thing, featherweight division, you got three guys. You got Josh Emmett at number 4, Kattar at number 5, and you got Arnold Allen at number 6. Who's the front runner?
Out of them three?
Yes, because they're the ones in the rankings that are, that
Yeah.
you haven't fought.
Did you say? Oh yeah. Okay. Did you say Rodriguez as well, or
No, I did
you
not
didn't
mention Yair
throw?
Rodriguez.
Okay. Yeah. So we've out of them, man. Like, I'd have to say out of them three, it'd be Josh Emmett, right? Josh Emmett's like right there. You know what I mean? Right there. So it's yeah. But Arnold Allen, man, like. Yeah, oh yeah. He again, he's like in the Leon Edwards situation. You know, he's had a bit of bad luck, um, and he's just a solid dude, a good dude, respectful dude, and he ain't trying no shit. He's just being real and being himself. Um, like yeah. So you want guys like that to have their big moment, but he's in my division, so he can fucking wait a bit. He had to have his big moment, but I mean, I hope that he gets a shot soon. I want him to get a ranked fighter because he deserves it. And because again, right now he's not ready for that shot yet. You know, I think he just needs one big fight. He goes and fights one of the top guys and wins, mate. He's the guy. You know what I mean? But he needs that definitely that one big fight, big win. So he's not far away. And again, they're all like that too, right? I like everyone you mentioned. They're all solid dudes. So if you expecting bad blood out of any of them, you might not see it. But I mean, hey, appreciate the skill. You know, that's something people can remember. So go out there and see shit that not many people are doing or able to do and all that. Appreciate that as well sometimes. You know what I mean? It's going to be good. Sometimes when there's trash talk, it's fun. The bad blood's fun. But if everyone just forced it and was fake, you'd get over it pretty quick. So appreciate appreciate everything. You know what I mean? You got to learn to appreciate everything. Don't expect the same shit every single time. You know what I mean? Because if you do, you're going to get over the sport really quickly. You know what I mean? Like imagine if every fight was like the one on the weekend. You're going to get over it, right? You want to have the moments where, you know what I mean? Sometimes they're having some like, oh yeah, dominant performances or, you know, here and there, and then bang, something crazy like that happening. You know what I mean? You want that to happen every once in a while, and that just fucking wows everybody. It's incredible. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like in that whole story and all that. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So really, that's the beauty of this sport because it's, you know what I mean? But I think people just need to learn to appreciate it. Some of the other things a bit more too. Not the same shit that, yeah. You know what I'm saying?